Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something a little different, a little wild, and honestly, a lot of fun. Have you ever looked at your overgrown backyard, maybe a hillside covered in weeds and brush, and just sighed, thinking about the hours of back-breaking work it would take to clear it all? What if I told you there's a solution that's eco-friendly, surprisingly efficient, and incredibly cute? Yes, you guessed it from the title, we're talking about hiring goats. It might sound like something out of a storybook, but goatscaping, or targeted grazing, is a real and growing business. Imagine this. Instead of firing up a noisy, gas-guzzling lawnmower or wrestling with a weed whacker, you get to watch a herd of adorable goats happily munching away at all your unwanted vegetation. It's not just a novelty, it's a practical and sustainable way to manage land. So, how does this whole thing work? It's actually a pretty straightforward service. Companies that offer goatscaping will come to your property for a consultation. They'll assess the area you want cleared, look at the types of plants you have, and determine the size of the herd needed and the duration of the job. It's a bit like getting a quote from a traditional landscaping company, but with more talk about fences and four-legged employees. Once you agree on the plan, the magic begins. The crew arrives and sets up a temporary, often electric, fence around the designated area. This is crucial because it keeps the goats contained exactly where you want them to work and ensures they don't wander off to nibble on your prized rose bushes or your neighbor's vegetable garden. Then they bring in the herd. And let me tell you, it's a sight to behold. A truck pulls up, a ramp goes down, and out comes your furry cleanup crew, ready to get to work. Now, you might be thinking, are goats really that good at clearing land? The answer is a resounding yes. Goats are natural browsers, not grazers like cows or sheep. This means they prefer to eat weeds, shrubs, and leaves from bushes and trees, rather than just grass. They are particularly fantastic at tackling tough invasive species that are a nightmare to remove manually, like poison ivy, kudzu, and blackberry brambles. What's amazing is that they can often eat these plants, which are toxic to humans and other animals, with no ill effects. They have incredibly robust digestive systems. One of the biggest advantages of using goats is their ability to work on terrain that is difficult or dangerous for humans and machines. Steep hillsides, rocky slopes, or areas with dense, tangled undergrowth are no problem for these agile climbers. They can navigate tricky landscapes with ease, clearing out vegetation that would be a serious safety hazard for a person with a chainsaw or a brush hog. Let's talk about the environmental benefits, because they are significant. First off, it's a completely chemical-free process. You're avoiding the use of herbicides, which can contaminate soil and water runoff. Second, you're eliminating the noise and air pollution from gas-powered equipment. The only sounds you'll hear are the gentle bleating of goats and the sound of them contentedly chewing. It's a much more peaceful experience for you and your neighbors. And there's more. As the goats work their way through the vegetation, their hooves aerate the soil. Plus, their droppings act as a natural fertilizer, enriching the ground as they clear it. So, not only are they removing the bad stuff, but they're also improving the health of your soil for future growth. It's a holistic, regenerative approach to land management. They're not just clearing it, they're improving it. From a practical standpoint, it can also be very cost-effective, especially for larger or more difficult-to-access properties. When you factor in the labor costs, equipment rental, and fuel for a traditional clearing project, goatscaping can often be a competitive option. And let's be honest, the entertainment value is off the charts. People love it. Entire neighborhoods will come out to watch the goats work. It becomes a community event. Kids in particular are absolutely fascinated. So, what is it like having a herd of goats in your yard for a few days or a week? Most companies provide everything the goats need: the fencing, water, and sometimes a portable shelter. They'll also have a livestock guardian animal, often a dog like a Great Pyrenees or an Anatolian Shepherd, to stay with the herd and protect them from predators. These dogs are incredibly dedicated and professional, and they're another fascinating part of the whole operation. Your job is basically just to enjoy the show. You get to wake up, grab your morning coffee, and watch your new furry friends transform your landscape. It's incredibly satisfying to see a jungle of weeds disappear, branch by branch, revealing the land underneath. It happens faster than you might think. A decent-sized herd can make a dramatic impact in just a couple of days. Now, it's important to have realistic expectations. Goats won't give you a perfectly manicured lawn. They're brush clearers, not lawn mowers. They'll eat the weeds and shrubs down to the stems, but they will leave the grass, which is great if you're trying to restore a pasture. They also won't dig up the roots, so some plants might grow back. However, repeated grazing over a couple of seasons can seriously weaken and eventually eliminate even the most stubborn invasive species. So, if you have a patch of land that's been driving you crazy, maybe it's time to think outside the box. Look up goat rental or targeted grazing services in your area. You might be surprised to find a local company offering this amazing service. It's a wonderful way to support a local, sustainable business, solve a difficult landscaping problem, and bring a whole lot of joy and nature right into your own backyard. You're not just clearing land, you're participating in a natural cycle. It's a win-win-win situation. The goats get to do what they love, eat. The business owner gets to run a sustainable and in-demand company. And you get your land cleared in a way that's good for the environment, effective, and endlessly entertaining. What's not to love? Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and exploring the wonderful world of goatscaping. I hope this gave you a fun new idea for tackling that overgrown yard. If you've ever hired goats or seen them in action, I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next adventure. See you in the next one.